during the campaign, they were all thought of by the youth board. So the Fact Youth Board is really great because we're allowed to kind of just use our creative abilities to come up with whatever we want for ideas, because I feel like who better to come up with ideas to try to get youth more aware of what tobacco companies are doing than youth themselves. So the youth board actually came up with the name Manipulicious for our campaign. We kind of touched on this already, but Manipulicious is manipulate and delicious put together. So the tobacco companies are manipulating youth into trying their delicious products. Big Tobacco adds candy flavoring to the products to make them more appealing to a younger audience, because they know their older customers are dying out, and they're trying to appeal to an audience that they know has a lot of education about cigarettes and those sort of tobacco products, but there isn't that much about OTPs. Schools aren't really teaching youth about OTPs that much, so Fact kind of took it upon ourselves to put that into our next campaign. So now we're going to go through the 12 Factivisms that are included in the Manipulicious Factivism Kit. So we've been using and improving since 2010. So this is what a Manipulicious Factivism Kit looks like. This goes out to all 34 fact groups. It contains all of the supplies for all of the different Factivism things that we will do typically throughout a school year. The boxes are uniform. Every fact group gets the same supplies. So we're all broadcasting the same message throughout the state of Wisconsin. It makes activism prep a lot easier because we know that we'll always have the supplies we need. We're not worried about money issues or our school not being able to provide certain things for us. So it's really awesome that FACT is able to send that out to all the different groups. And we'll talk more about this later, but there's also an incentive for youth to submit work they have done online to the fightwithfact.com website, and youth will be able to submit a photo and a little blurb about what they did. So the first one I'm going to talk about is called the Reveal the Facts banner. This is a great one to use in front of a big high traffic area in my school, Greendale High School in Wisconsin. We had a banner similar to that one. We had the other one of the two designs, and we hung it up by our lunchroom in a high traffic area where many other students would be able to see it, and we had our adult advisor work with us to put an announcement out in the morning so that students were extra aware of what FACT was up to. So how this activity works is in the Factivism supply kit, we are given a plastic stencil about like that big, and it's in the shape of a piece of candy, and then we use construction paper to create a bunch of candies to tape onto the poster, and we leave the poster about banner, we leave that about 80% covered, and then in my school we put like a little poster on the side of it telling people to pull these off as they walk by. So we started on Monday, and throughout the course of the week, students were pulling off the candies. I saw people talking about it at lunch, asking, I wonder what's under there, I'm curious about it. So it was a great way to engage an audience that might not even be interested in joining FACT, but at least they were participating in our activities and willing to take the opportunity to learn more about FACT themselves. And in case you were curious, this is one of the two messages that's under the banner. It just says, "The truth's not so sweet. Big Tobacco is using Manipulicious candy flavors to sell teens cancer-causing products." All right, so the next one I'm going to talk about is Spot the Knot, and you all received this game when you walked in. Basically, we use this when we approach random people at an event. We're like, hey, do you want to play Spot the Knot? Or we have it when we present to middle school and freshman health classes, at least in my community, and we try to test their knowledge and see if they can tell the difference between tobacco products and non-tobacco products just based on the packaging. So
for those of you who didn't get it, just take a look really quick and see if you guys can spot which ones are the tobacco products, because Brittany will give you the answers in like 2 seconds. 1, 2.
Okay.
And I have samples up front, so don't worry if you didn't get one.
Also, we have samples of most of the Factivisms up here that we will be talking about, so if you want to take a closer look and maybe think about using some of them in your own community, that will be right here after the presentation. So anyway, here are the results for Spot the Net. Starting on the upper left, we have Marlboro Snooze. And then the second product in the middle of the top row is 5 Gum. The third one is the second tobacco product, Camel Orbs. So moving on to the next row, we have Lifesaver, Swisher Candy, as most of you know, Altoids, Camel Strips, and then on the bottom row, Swisher Sweet Cigarillos, Lucky Strike Chewing Tobacco, and Stride Gum. And it's really interesting to see the results of this game with middle schoolers, especially that have never been exposed to learning about OTPs, and it's really interesting to see their reaction because many of them didn't even realize how similar the packaging actually is.